Yo, it's Ryan, the Smart Web Tutor. What's going on? Happy days, right? Happy days. We're here back again, giving you another video. Today I'm going to come to you with the fourth installment of the Internet Marketing Show, right? Thursday Night Live, the fourth episode was GPS, your roadmap to your marketing success. All right? We talked about mapping out your marketing plan and making sure that when you are going on that journey that you have it all mapped out. We don't want you going out and getting lost, right? We want you to start from A and go to Z, right? Straight line. All right? If you go on some detours, we want to make sure that when you go on those detours, you get back on the right highway, right? To make sure that you're going to the place you want to end up, okay? If you're in a certain niche, or if you're in a certain kind of a hobby or whatever it may be, and you're marketing your products online, we want you to get in there and take that trip and make it safely to your destination. Okay? So I wanted to come to you today that if you are looking to find your roadmap, if you're looking to find your roadmap in your marketing success, whatever the niche or whatever the industry that you're in, you could come to my group, the Internet Marketing Show, on Facebook, and join the group. Each week we go live with a new episode of the Internet Marketing Show, Thursday Night Live. Okay? And then within the group, I got posts and different things and resources that can help you, right? We're trying to guide you to your destination. I want you to get there without too many getting lost moments, right? You can take some detours, right? You can take some detours now and then, but if you take too many of them, you're going to get lost on this journey, and then you're going to get confused. You got the overwhelm, you got the shiny object syndrome, you're buying all these different things, and you just end up lost and confused and give up on your journey. And I don't want you to give up. I want you to continue on, because people need your help. And if you have some kind of dream about this, I want that dream to stay alive. Okay? So I'm going to put a link in the description for the Internet Marketing Show group. And then I want you to go on over there, request to join, fill in the details, right? Put your email in there, because then I could start sending you information and updates about the weekly calls, and I can send you the free report download about being productive, right? I want you to be productive in your life and in your career. So let's do that. Go on over to the group, sign up, put in your email, and I can get that report over to you. All right? I look forward to you joining the group, and I want you to stick around so that you can check out the fourth episode of the Internet Marketing Show, Thursday Night Live, where you're going to learn about your GPS, your roadmap to marketing success. All right? Enjoy the show. Yo. What's up, Facebook land? Welcome to the Internet Marketing Climb group, and welcome to the Thursday Night Live stream. Glad to be here. It's Thursday, June 24th, 1921? No, 2021. I don't even know the century anymore. I'm glad that you're here. It's Thursday night, and I'm ready to talk about our topic tonight. The topic for this evening is your GPS, your roadmap to your marketing success, right? We're, oh, hey, it's Tony. What's up, Tony? It's good to see you. All right. Yeah, 2021, right? I thought it was 1921 for a second. Yeah, maybe 1971. That's when I was born. So glad that you're here. Thank you so much for supporting. Hey, Gail. Gail's here too. All right. We got a couple people popping in. So glad you guys are here. So again, what I was going to talk about Well, anyways, first I'm going to give you guys a little cheers for being here. Cheers. This is my what's funny was last week I was showing you my cup, and this is my green drink that I drink. It's a little bit of sludge here. It's kind of gross, but this is what I drink my green drinks out of. But this is what I used to drink my beer out of. And I was telling you last week that I had about 6+ years now of sobriety from drinking, right? And I used to go to the Brooklyn Bowl, and I used to party hard and get these big ass beers, and just get even more hammered. So now I drink my green drink, my health drink, out of the cup that I used to get wasted by. And so now I'm doing the good stuff instead of the bad stuff, and I'm happy about it. So I'm so happy that you're here. Oh, she got her wine. That's fine. I love it. I don't mind anybody having what they want to enjoy. And that's just the thing, is that I used to enjoy too much. And so I had to say no more. All right. So anyway, cheers to you. All right. I got my brain food, and now I'm ready to go. Everything sound good? Everybody give me a little cheers. Tell me what you're doing tonight. Where you showing up from? Where you living? And we'll get going. All right. I'm going to give you guys a little likes here. Like. And Gail's here. I saw Gail. Gail did a live show earlier this week. Good job, Gail. And Tony, we need to get back together pretty soon so that we can go over your details and make sure everything's cool. All right. Well, I'm glad that you guys are here. So let's get going. So again, the topic for this week is GPS, your roadmap to your marketing success, right? A couple weeks ago, we talked about, surveying the land, surveying the land that you're approaching, right? So just as much as these old surveyors used to go out and navigate this land and take their surveying machines, scope out the land, see the distance, what the property limits were. We'd have maybe an acreage, or maybe somebody had a large, maybe they had 1,500 acres on this mountainside, right? Well, Tony's in Saskatchewan. Yeah, Saskatchewan. Is that it? All right. I remember that from this movie. Anyway, glad that you're up here, our Canadian friend. And good thing about this lives, doesn't matter where we're at. We're all one. We're all in one place right here, right? We're close. Someday we'll be able to get out there and actually meet each other and give each other hugs, right? Now that we're allowed to hug each other again. Too bad we weren't allowed to hug each other for a while, right? We're not allowed to touch. Well, I'm touching you guys right now, right here. Here we go. Touch. And give you a big hug because I love hugs. All right. So last couple of weeks ago, we were talking about surveying the marketing land. This week, we're going to talk about your GPS, right? And setting your GPS for where you want to go. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was, we're familiar with GPS. We're familiar with the GPS on our car. I've never had GPS in my car, but I have had the GPS on my phone. With Maps or Google Maps, and I've even used the GPS that they have on there, and it's pretty handy if you're just going to some place. Maybe you're in a tight bind and you need to get someplace and you don't want to make a mistake, so you turn on that GPS, right? So just like with the GPS, that's what we're going to be doing with our marketing too. We're going to be setting the course for where we want to go. But the first thing we need to know is, where are we at, right? And then we need to know, what's the final destination? Well, if we put in those two details, we know that if we put in where we're starting from and where we want to go, that this machine, or what have you, this computer, is going to spit out the exact details. It'll actually tell you with voice command which way to turn. Left turn coming up soon. Make a left turn at such and such, right? Make a left turn now. And specific details. And without these specific details, you ain't going to get to where you want to go. But you might get to where you want to go, but you're not going to get there in efficient time, right? You're not going to get there in a timely manner. So, just like that, we're going to be setting this GPS. And that's what I want to talk about first. Is let's just go over the details of setting up your GPS, right? And setting up the location that you want to go, setting up the location. So the first, they tell you for setting up a GPS with a location the first time, may confuse some beginners, especially during the first attempt, right? So just like marketing, I got something's completing on my computer, so forgive that noise. Just like in our GPS with a location, the first time may confuse some beginners, especially during the first attempt. Now, with marketing, and just like you may have experienced, like going to some certain location, like you get confused. You may have even got lost, right? And you may have to make multiple attempts, dozens of attempts even, to get this thing right. So what we're going to continue to do is continue to practice. Eventually, you don't even have to even take the GPS. You're going to just go to that place naturally. It's going to be very natural. You're going to get there with ease. And you never have to worry about it. Am I going to get there in time? You know that it takes you typically 15 minutes to get someplace. So leave 20 minutes early, or 25 minutes. You got a couple of minutes to spare. So the first step in programming your GPS is to press the button or icon on the main screen that reads where to, find address, or destination. Press it, right? So just like that, it's the first thing you need to know, where are you going, right? So in marketing, we need to know, what's our plan? What do we really want to do? What do we want to accomplish with our strategy here? Okay, so I'm here. I'm a newbie marketer. I'm just new at this, and I need to know where I want to go. Well, first, I get an idea, and what I want to do is I want to become maybe a YouTube influencer, right? So in order to become a YouTube influencer, there's a lot of steps that go along with that. But the first place you might want to look is maybe go to YouTube, right? Or go find somebody, say YouTube influencers, search on Google, YouTube influencers. Then look up that person on YouTube or on Google, basically the same thing, and you're going to find YouTube influencers. Those are going to give you a top list. Or go onto YouTube and they'll give YouTube influencers, and they may even have like a tab there that says the top influencers, and you put that down and you'll find those influencers, and then you might be able to say top YouTube influencers in tutorials, right? And so it might bring you up to a tutorial that gives you something that shows you how to become an influencer. All right, everybody getting this? All right. Tony's here. She's got her Saskatchewan. Yep, that would be amazing for sure. All right, we're going to do that. Let's just set a time, Tony. Let's just set a time, all right? Let's not be shy about it. So anyway, just like that, we know that there's a place that we want to go. We know that we want to become a YouTube influencer, but there's a lot of things that we need to learn in between. And by the time that we get done learning some of these things, we may realize that that's not the destination that we want to go. Maybe we want to go to a different party, right? So just like when you might set your GPS to go to a certain party, you may say, you know what, maybe we'll go over to that other party. So you decide that you want to do your work on Facebook, or you want to do your work on LinkedIn, or you want to do your work on Pinterest, right? It's just a good thing not to set your navigator, try to screw up your GPS by setting multiple locations, right? So you can't go to multiple locations at once unless you have multiple people. You don't have a bizarro self there that's your identical doppelganger that's going to end up going to two different places at once, right? So we got to figure out which one we want to do first. So we decide that we're going to do the YouTube. So we go and find out that information, right? So now we know the destination, right? So next thing in the steps is to choose a category, such as a restaurant. The GPS navigation will present a selection of restaurants closest to where you are. After touching one of the destinations, directions for getting there should appear on your screen. All right? Okay. So, just like in the marketing aspect, you're marketing your business. Now you need to know who you're going to serve, right? What's your niche, your ideal client? So, we're not going to go to the Italian restaurant. We're going to go to the Mexican restaurant, right? If you're not a Mexican restaurant fan, then we're going to go maybe to a Chinese restaurant, right? So we're going to figure out what's the food of choice. What is the restaurant that we want to attend or go and help, right? We want to figure out who those people are and what is it that they like, right? We're going to figure out if they like chow mein or if they like, orange flavored chicken. We're going to find out whether they like the noodles, whether they like the rice, what do they want? Do they like the sushi? If they're going to go to a Japanese restaurant, we're going to get the sushi, right? What kind of sushi do you like? Do you like the yellowtail? Do you like to have the spicy tuna roll? Do you like to have the dragon roll? Do you like to have a caterpillar roll? The eel, stuff like that. We need to know specifics so that we can get down and serve them what they want. When somebody has a menu at a restaurant, the people pick exactly what they want. So basically, you can start reading into finding out what those people need most. So, and eventually you just know that this is what most people come in that are in this niche. The most people need this exact thing, and you start giving them that thing that they need, right? Say, okay, somebody comes into McDonald's and they buy a soft drink, right? They need the cup, they need the lid, and they need a straw. Plus, they need to know where the machine is to go put the beverage into, right? They shouldn't be drinking those beverages in the first place, but that's besides the point, right? They should be drinking a nice big old green drink because green drinks are yummy. And they're good for you and they don't rot out your gut. All right. So, now we're going to do is talk about the third step. The third step is to enter a specific address if you know it. You can touch the Where To button or icon on the main screen, type the specific address, then press Done to enter the information. The detailed route should display, right? So now that we've figured out some of these different things, we know a specific way to get where we need to go. And we know as marketers, so now that we know the specifics of who, we need to start driving content towards them, right? So now that we know exactly who it is that we've got on our, we're going to call it our list, right? We're driving these people and getting them in with the tasty treats, right? They know that they're going to get, if they come into our place, they're going to get what they want. They're going to get those noodles, they're going to get the orange flavored chicken, or if it's another flavor, they're going to get the ravioli, right? They're going to get the pasta, they're going to get the breadsticks. They're going to get what they need. So we need to keep tossing those ingredients at them. We need to keep tossing those flavors at them. Like, that's our content, right? So our content is going to be specific to what they need. So if they're hungry and you know they like the Italian food and you know that they love the pizza, then we need to figure out what type of pizza they want. Do they like the pepperoni pizza? Or do they like just cheese? Or do they want ones with the anchovies? Or do they want ones with the peppers and the veggie style, the peppers and the onions and the tomatoes? So we're going to keep dishing out those specific ingredients towards them. That's your content, and you're going to create those content by doing your lives. You're going to create that content by doing your videos on YouTube, or you're going to write articles on your website, your blog, if you're doing that. You're going to create lead magnets that maybe it's a one-sheeter that gives them like the 5 main ingredients of the best, tastiest pizza there ever was, right? So within those things, you're going to keep giving them those little tastes, little morsels, right? The little tidbits. You know, like when you're fishing, you put out that little stinky bait, right? And that stinky bait, but it's delicious to the fish, right? They're like, what's that smell? I want some of that. I want some of that tasty, tasty cat poop or whatever the heck you're putting on that fishing lure, right? All right. Well, lures would be one thing. Fishing hook is another, right? But we're putting it out there always. We're just casting our reel out there, and we're seeing what bites, right? And if we know that they like those tasty niblets, then we're going to keep putting those things out there, and you'll see it by the content that you put out there. What is the best bait, right? All right. So the fourth step in the setting up your GPS is the GPS manufacturers design their own displays, but the directions are similar, right? All right, so many of these things, they may even be in your car, right? New cars have these screens already in them, and you can subscribe. You got your GPS, and you got this nice fancy screen. Oh, Tony's going fishing this weekend. All right, you're going to go up to your cabin. You guys going up there again? I guess we're not having our conversation this weekend. Well, maybe we can do it early next week. All right, that sounds fun. I hope you guys have a great time. Because we're getting toward, no, that's going to be 2 weeks from now. We're going to have our 4th of July, right? Well, you don't have 4th of July up there. What do you guys celebrate? You guys have an Independence Day up there? Well, at least you're able to drive now. You're able to go someplace else, right? They were keeping everybody locked up there in Canada. Well, we'll see what happens. Anyway. Yeah, all right, she's going up there. Good deal. So just like the GPS, you know, and they have these different screens, but, you know, it might be just a little portable one that you have, or the big one that's already in your car. And the thing is that all of them pretty much do the same thing, right? As with marketing to different industries, it's very much the same idea, right? So say that you're like a mom and pop shop, like serving up. Okay, take one of these places inside I always get a kick out of this, is that inside of the malls or just inside of like a strip place, they may have like a whole store that's, you know, designed to sell magnets, right? These people, they love the magnets. Put another magnet on the refrigerator. So I'm going to go into the store. I'm going to spend $4.95 or $10 on a magnet. And so this store had to do some research to realize, if I spend all this money to open up this store and put thousands of dollars or maybe even tens of thousands of dollars in inventory into the store, plus all the setup costs and everything like that, I need to know that I'm going to have a lot of people that are going to come in here and buy these silly magnets. Now, I'm not making fun of the magnets, but again, I could think of better ways of spending money. But people want it, so they build a store, they put it up, and you know, coming soon, the best magnet store in the world, right? And you know, and we only have a few more days to open. And then all of a sudden, they're going to open the doors. They got a line out down the road. All these people waiting to get their new magnet. You know, like, whoa! It's like an Apple, the new Apple iPhone, right? And we're going to wait in line to get this new thing. It's all the same idea. We are giving people what they want. We are providing a service that they need. You know, how many dentists are in your city, right? In my city, you can't. It's almost the same as a fast food joint. There's that many dentists. almost every single like strip mall or supermarket like mall area, there's a dentist. We got dentists everywhere. People really need their teeth done, I guess. But they provide a service that people need. There's other businesses that provide product and materials to people that people don't need, they just want, right? So that's what Black Friday's for, is people go out and shop on Black Friday for basically a bunch of stuff they don't need, but they really want it, and they want to get a good price on it, right? So what we want to do is, we don't want to be Black Friday for people. We want to be like the Neiman Marcus for people. We want to be like the specialty shop for people. We want to be where people go and they don't expect a discount. They just expect the good stuff. They want the good, they want the solid material, they want the solid content, and they want to be able to know that when they come to you, they're going to get the best. They're going to get the true stuff. When you work with me, I'm not going to mess around. I'm just going to be giving it to you straight. And, I'm not looking for the discounts when I come to you. I know that I'm going to get the best. I'm going to pay, just like going to a nice restaurant. Who wants to go and spend $60 on a steak? Not me. But you know what? People do. They go to these places. They spend $60 on a $5 piece of meat, and they get good service and all this different stuff. They like the atmosphere. They pay the money, and they don't go into like a Ruth Chris Steakhouse or some other place that's a fancy schmancy place, or to Nobu or wherever it may be, Spago, and ask for a discount. They're going to go in there and they're going to buy a meal. I went to had a meal with some friends one time, and it was like 10-course meal, and for like 6 people it was like $1,500. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot of money. But you know what? At that time it was more like I had little money. That's the problem. And when you are setting up your business, you don't want to be the bargain basement. You want to create good stuff, quality stuff that people are happy to pay for. All right. So we're going on to the last step. Step 5 is learn some of the basic operation skills of your specific model, like your specific brand, right? Like Autocar, TomTom, and Garmin are just a few of the brands you can choose from. You can find them in electronic stores such as Walmart, Best Buy, Radio Shack, and many others. You can buy them through some GPS navigation stores online too, right? So just like your marketing, you want to learn as much as you can about the specific niche or industry. That's your navigation. That's your GPS, right? You want to learn all about it. If you're doing that YouTube, learn all about YouTube. Learn about going live on YouTube. Learn about the different tools that you could use to go live on YouTube. Learn about setting up your channel the right way, like with your channel description, different ways to set it up. Learn about like setting up your communities. I think they have the communities there. Learn about like the best ways to do playlists. Really get into understanding what YouTube is about and how to be it. Then you can start learning about the advertising, right? You get your channel to build up to a certain amount, and then you're like, I'm going to start advertising on my videos. I got a lot of views on my videos. I'm going to start advertising on my videos, and eventually, you'll get to that. So start to understand it fully. So when you are dealing with your clients or customers, you know their language, right? So if somebody's coming to you and talking about football, right, you need to know what a touchdown is. You need to know what like the end zone is. You need to know what 10-yard line is. You need to know what tripping, or what, like that would be a basketball term. But you need to know what maybe like roughing the passer, or you need to know what the different positions are, like quarterback and the safety and the linebacker and the defensive line and the offensive line. You need to know these specifics, so when you're talking to your customer and they ask you a question about these specific things, hey, what about the defensive tackle? And you're like, what's a defensive tackle? And they're like, you're not the expert, so I'm not dealing with you. If you don't know it, then you let them know just a little bit, and you say, hey, I'll get back to you on that. You want to be honest with your customers and say, hey, you know what, right now I don't have the specifics, but I will get back to you and I'll let you know, right? So know the language of your customer. All right, so that pretty much does that. And I was just thinking too, was, when I lived up in the mountains, I used to live up in the mountains in California, and every year it would fog central. The fog would come up rolling over the hill, and then we'd get this fog. The fog would just stay and linger on our mountain, and the trees would start dripping. It was like rain, and it would just get, the streets are wet. It wasn't even raining. And hey, it's Glessy. Glessy's here. Ooh, Tony says that Canada Day is July 1st. All right, so you guys, you're getting close to it too. All right, so happy Canada Day for you, and we got the 4th of July coming up here, and Glessy is here. Glessy, I appreciate you for coming in. You can catch this replay if you haven't been here for a little while. Otherwise, we just been talking about your GPS, just like we talk about over there in the other group about our DMO, right? Our daily mode of operation. GPS is very similar, right? Because we need to set the direction of what we need to do. Yep, happy Canada Day, right? But anyways, we need to it's like setting the mood, right? Setting the mood, right? We're getting ourselves prepared for this beautiful evening. So we're setting the mood, candlelight, the different things. We're making dinner. We got the wine. We're doing the different things. We're setting the mood, right? Just like that, the DMO is setting the mood for the day. The GPS is setting the mood for the direction we want to take our business, take our car when we're driving down the highway. Where do we want to go, right? So I was saying, like, up there in the mountains, Glessy says, agreed, one and the same, for sure, totally, right? The roadmap, right? Where do we want to go? What is our destination? What do we really want to accomplish with this thing called our business, right? Marketing, whether you're in an online marketing, whether it's network marketing, affiliate marketing, info marketing. I do, most of my stuff is this, I term it internet marketing, because that's what we're doing, right? So, or if you're an offline business, we're all got this direction that we're trying to go, right? And just like with this fog that I was talking about, this fog rolling over the hills, right? We'd be driving, and then all of a sudden the fog would come in, and unless you know where you're going, unless you know those streets, that fog could become a hindrance, right? You're like, oh man, that's foggy, and now all of a sudden you're driving 10 miles an hour trying to see the little line on the side. And when you're up in the mountains, like I used to live, a lot of times those lines were kind of faded because the weather would get the thing, and you couldn't see those lines. And then you're like looking at the side of the road, you're looking at dirt, and you're not even looking at anything in front. You're just looking at some dirt on the side of the road, just getting yourself to getting back home, right? So, but if you know those streets, you could pretty much, you're like, oh, I know these streets, and you're still just driving pretty much the same, mile an hour. You're just going, you're ready. I could get home. I could close my eyes and almost get home, because you know that terrain. You already know the navigation. You don't need the GPS anymore, because you know it, because you studied it, you've practiced it enough, and now it's become second nature. These are the things that you do. All right. And yeah, I used to drive, man. I used to drive. Hey, let's go back. Let's get serious now, right? I told you about my green drink, right? And I told you about the the beer that I used to drink out of this thing, right? When I used to drink, there were some foggy nights, right? I wasn't working with the right mind, and I wasn't working with my clarity. I was living in a fog, right? And when I went out and drank, and when I went out and damaged myself that way, I was living in blackout, right? I was just like autopilot. And God forbid that I ever hurt anybody when I was drinking and driving. But thank God it didn't ever happen. And I'm a better man because of the experience. But, whew, wow, don't ever want to live in that fog, right? So let's, we'll do another salute because, again, this is Thursday Night Live, and you guys are coming out. The gals are really supporting me. I really appreciate you. And you're coming out to the group and celebrating on Thursday Night Live. We're going to give a salute. Blessy, this is my green drink. And I was telling the gals earlier, this is a cup from the Brooklyn Bowl. And this is where I used to, I mean, I've still gone after I stopped drinking. But the Brooklyn Bowl here in Las Vegas, they have it over in New York. And a very famous place. You might know about it. And, you know, I did a lot of damage there. I had a lot of fun, but I also did a lot of damage. And this kind of is a little bit of a salute, yeah, a remembrance. You know, it's like I used to put destruction in here. Now I put goodness in it. And that's what I want to do with the rest of my life, is I'm going to put goodness into everything I do. I'm going to put goodness into the people I surround myself with. I'm going to put goodness into the people that support me. I'm going to put goodness into my family. And I'm especially going to do this to be the goodness and the example for my young kids, my twin boys. Picture of them right behind you. That's them when they're about 4 or 5 years old, right? So, yeah, Glessy. Glessy, you're in the East Coast. Oh, Glessy's got her strawberry juice. I hope you're drinking strawberry juice, not drink, because the carbonated drink, that might be bad. Anyway, yeah. If Glessy, if you're on the East Coast, if you're in that, like a lot of the people in the group seem like there's a bunch of them over there in the New York area, Brooklyn and stuff like that. Brooklyn Bowl is really famous in New York, right, or Brooklyn, and it's a concert venue, basically concert venue, bowling. That's why they call it Brooklyn Bowl. And they built one here. In Las Vegas, in this place by the big wheel called the Link. That's like a little street scene where they got this Brooklyn Bowl. They got killer concerts. I've seen like 100+ concerts there in the last 5 years. I'm a big old fan. Oh, she's from the Bronx, so you should know about Brooklyn Bowl. If you haven't, you know, you might have heard of. I'm sure you heard of B.B. King's, right? B.B. King's. Or the Blue Note. Yeah. Anyway, I'm a big music fan, and that was one of the things that I did, right? I spent, you know, hundreds, thousands of hours of my life dedicated to music and going to concerts, spending time with people, getting drunk, getting high, all these different things. It was nonsense, but it was fun. I had a good time. And it just came its time, you know. There was a time where there was no more. Now I just go and enjoy, but, you know, haven't been in a while. Oh yeah, B.B. King's, right. They even had, they've had some good ones. I got to see B.B. King in concert. Very fortunate to have seen him at least once. And saw him with... It was one night, B.B. King was the headliner, and it was Dr. John from New Orleans, Southern stuff, right? And I've seen Buddy Guy. I saw John Lee Hooker. Oh yeah. Spent a lot of time used next door to the arcade. Yeah. Arcade. Space Invaders, right? Back in the day. Asteroids. Donkey Kong Jr. Miss Pac-Man. All right, we're getting off topic. But you know what? We're talking each other's language, right? We are relating with each other. We're talking about things we can relate to, like we're talking about music, whether we're talking about drink, whether we're talking about the arcade games. When you know your audience and you get to know them and you get to know what drives them, what they want, what they need, what they do, these different things, you can have that conversation. Yep, she knows the Pac-Man. I spent so many hours on this one game. There was 2 games I spent so much time on. And when you get good, a quarter goes a long way, right? You put 1 quarter in, you're like playing on that thing for an hour. People like, come on. They got their quarter up there, they're waiting to play. And there was a couple games. One was called Galaga, and another one was Donkey Kong Jr. Loved that one. I used to play the Donkey Kong Jr. over the Donkey Kong. And then there was another one called, I played Miss Pac-Man a lot too. But those were the two that I really played a lot. And then there was another one earlier on. There was one called like Olympics. They had this one called Olympics. And I take a comb or some kind of like a pencil and go like this on a thing and get like a really fast, button thing, right? You put them on the 2 buttons, you start whacking it and just going fast, right? So anyway, that's funny. Galaga, yeah. I used to play Cubert, all kinds of different ones, Centipedes. Nowadays, these kids, man, they're on these games. Oh my gosh, my kids, their mom is going nuts with these kids on the thing. They're playing the Roblox, and then they get on the thing and they ask me, "Hey, Papa." They do something, they say something nice, and then they want money, right? They want me to send them money to buy some like virtual hat to go on some like virtual character. I'm like, come on, guys, I want to give you money to go do something, get something physical, something that you can remember. But they like it, so got to support them. Anyway, again, this has been a good night. The last little thought I had there was on the thing about talking about the fog, like I had been rolling in the fog for a long time, right? And I thought I had the clarity, and now that I got to like getting towards middle age, right? And I'm like, I need to figure this out. I need to figure out some things. I still felt like a kid, right? And I like being childlike because that's the youth in me. It's my humor. You gals seen it on the calls. I just there's just something in me that sees comedy and sees laughter in all things. There's some serious stuff, but it's just some of the stuff is pretty doggone funny, and that's just the way I like to look at life, and I like to put a kind of a little bit of humor into everything that I do, and sometimes it's just good to lighten the load, lighten the mood, because some people really are taking everything really seriously, and taking things really seriously can get you sick. I don't want to see people getting sick because they're all so serious about things. Now, we do have to pay the bills. We want to do good things in life. But again, these are all things that we made up. These are all things that we're playing pretend, right? So we made up these things. We said, I want this house. Okay, that's going to be a certain amount of bill for you every month. I want this car. That's going to be another bill. You didn't have to get those things. You didn't have to have a bill. But you created a bill. Now you have an expense, right? And now we need to go out and do something that hopefully we enjoy that's going to pay those bills. So if we can create a business for ourselves that is fun, right? We know the streets that we're driving on. We know the turns. We know the landmarks, right? We know that that sign's always there when I drive past it every morning. We know that that light turns red at a certain time in the morning. We're like, doggone it, I missed it again. And you know, but you're starting to get the navigation right. You're learning these things. You're getting and you're finally getting home safely, right? You're getting home without having anybody stopping quick in front of you. You're getting home without somebody honking their horn at you. You're navigating the land. You're navigating the road, right? And if you don't do these things right and you don't learn it, then you can drive off the road. You spin out, right? We don't want anybody spinning out. We don't want anybody getting too crazy, right? You know, people say, oh, I don't know, I'm just having a terrible day. I see a lot of people posting on the things. I needed this today. You know, it's like, well, what did you need? I mean, in reality, we have everything we already need. Nobody gave you something that you needed. You already had it. It was just that person coming to you that day that made you realize that you already had it. So that stuff that's you thought was outside of you was always inside of you. It just took something that appeared to be outside of you to show you that it was already inside of you. It's just reflecting back. So what I'm reflecting right now is lots of love, lots of joy, and just appreciation for you guys showing up, being here with me. And I hope that by being here that you felt some of that within me, right? And you saw it within yourself. You gals are some good, sweet people, and I really appreciate you. And we will see you tomorrow on the calls, all right? So anybody got any questions? You guys got any questions? I'll take a couple questions if you want. We'll try to do a little Q&A if you want for a second. If not, then we'll wrap this one up. It says, I have to hop off. No problem, Tony. It's good to see you. You have a great weekend if I don't see you tomorrow. And let's get together next week. So, to see if anything's going on. All right? I appreciate you. I'm going to give you a heart there. And we'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you next week, okay? Safe travels on your journey to your cabin. All right? All right, Glessy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You rock too, sister. Thank you so much for supporting. And we'll see you in the group tomorrow and or the calls, all right? I'll be on that morning call, and then we'll be on the afternoon happy hour, all right? So, all right. So, sending off on a Thursday night. Thank you so much. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you later. Until next week, or unless I do something else earlier, but next week, Thursday nights, Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right? So, all right. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Bye.